さあ始めようか。宴の時間だ。
Demon Slayer. Infinity Castle is rapidly rising to the top of the anime box office. In the trilogy's first film, the Demon Slayers battled some of the series' most formidable demons in the titular Infinity Castle. There is still a lot of story to be revealed, because it was the first of 3 movies that would be released. Adapting the manga's last arcs, the upcoming fights may be even better than those in the first movie, and some of the best parts of the last arcs haven't been animated yet. The first movie established the stage for the third, and featured 2 significant fights. The biggest battles were Jiyu versus Akaza, Teijiro versus Zenitsu, and Kaigaku versus Zenitsu. Although Dama's battle with Shinobu was first shown, the second film will feature his actual battle. The Demon Slayers have a horrible time fighting in the Infinity Castle. Muzan divided the majority of them up as soon as he called them all together, leaving them to battle swarms of demons by themselves. Fortunately, some managed to remain together. The first film demonstrates that the Mist Hashira and the Stone Hashira managed to remain together. There aren't many demons who could defeat Gyomai Haimjima and Muakairo Takido, 2 of the series' greatest Hashira. In order to release their Hashira, the members of the Demon Slayer Corps are engaged in combat with lower-ranking demons. Muzan is the target of Gyomai and Muakairo, but before they can destroy the King of Demons, they might encounter one of the upper moons. Even when compared to the toughest demons in Demon Slayer, Muzan's might is unmatched. He has existed for at least 1,000 years during the series' events and is the ancestor of all demons. Although they have never even come close to slaying him, the Demon Slayers appear to have a chance during the Infinity Castle storyline. Before the arc began, Muzan was expertly neutralized by Kaguya Yubayashiki. In order to give his Demon Slayers a chance at Muzan's head, Kaguya sacrificed himself, his wife, and 2 of his daughters, a sacrifice that is among the biggest in anime in terms of both magnitude and importance. Muzan is diligently removing the poison from his body, even though he is temporarily paralyzed. In addition, he is deftly employing the Infinity Castle to conceal himself and keep the other Demon Slayers at bay while he plans his next move. One of Demon Slayer's most underappreciated characters is Inosuke. Despite having no business being so strong, he manages to be one of the franchise's most resilient characters. In addition, he is creating his own breathing style called beast breathing, which is a variation on the potent wind breathing. Inosuke appears to be by himself in the Infinity Castle, cut off from Zenitsu, Tanjiro, and the other Hashira. He is one of the few characters who entered the Infinity Castle with a sense of excitement at the thought of taking on so many formidable foes. Inosuke will take part in one of the franchise's most significant and emotionally healing fights. Without giving anything away, he is prepared to take on any formidable foe, and in Infinity Castle Part 2, he will confront one of the most formidable in the series. Throughout the Swordsmith Village narrative, Love Hashira was an essential character. By facing Zohakuten alone, she demonstrated her might by fending off the 4th highest-ranking demon in Muzan's army. She is fortunate to be hunting Muzan in the Infinity Castle alongside her fellow Hashira, Obanai Aguro. It's possible that Obanai and Mitsuri are more than merely Hashira, although there hasn't been much evidence of their relationship. The upcoming film in the series may depict the 2 becoming somewhat closer. In any case, they are up against one of the series' most formidable opponents. One of the greatest battles in anime may have been that between Tanjiro and Jiyu and Akaza. Tanjiro is a character who is always growing. Even in the middle of battle, he won the battle because he was able to maintain his composure and trust Jiyu. Since Akaza had to end his own life in order to give the Slayers a victory, his contemplation of his humanity also spared the 2 of them. It is a significant achievement to defeat an upper moon, particularly one of Akaza's rank. Although Tanjiro was able to defeat one of his worst foes and exact revenge on Rengoku at the same time, that was only the beginning of his plan to exterminate all demons. Jiyu and Tanjiro must now continue their search for Muzan, as Akaza is no longer alive. Compared to the Demon King, Akaza is but a pawn, and it will be intriguing to watch how the 2 recover after being tested to the maximum. The only actual place to see the Infinity Castle is at a movie theater. It appears to go on forever, which is why it is called the Infinity Castle. There are dozens of halls, hundreds of twisting floors, perplexing landings, and a landscape that seems impossible to fully plan. There is still a great deal more of the Infinity Castle to be seen, and the Demon Slayers have just arrived. For the demons, It's the ideal setting because it severely disadvantages their adversaries, and it seems like things will only get worse before they get better. Demain is incredibly composed. His fear stems from the fact that his comments are free of malice. He acts without malice, and it appears that he sincerely thinks that by murdering and eating people, he is assisting them. There isn't another demon like him, as demonstrated by his battle with Shinobu in the original Demon Slayer Infinity Castle film. Fans knew that the Infinity Castle arc would be different from earlier arcs because of Shinobu's almost instantaneous death. Up to this point in the series, only one other significant character had perished, and the Infinity Castle films appeared to be an attempt to alert viewers of the brutality that was to come. Although Kanao had come to get revenge on her owner, she appeared to have sustained significant injuries by the film's conclusion. What may a non-Hashira do when Demain has already vanquished a Hashira? That subject will be addressed in the second film, and fortunately, Kanao won't be battling alone. Of all the characters in Demon Slayer, Kokushibo is the most enigmatic. He is Musen Kibutsuji's superior demon, holding the title of Upper Moon 1. Even the Upper Moon 3, Akaza, is terrified of Kokushibo because of his strength. Kokushibo had a brief appearance in the first Infinity Castle film. He was spotted alone in a chamber with enormous pillars. He was so incensed at Akaza's death and betrayal that he quickly cut off the enormous pillars that held up the area he was in. Kokushibo is in his own league, and to imply otherwise would be a huge understatement. Kokushibo is far superior to even Demain, the second highest ranking demon in the series. The biggest challenge the present generation of demon slayers has ever faced will be his introduction in the second movie.